I first encountered Kerouac when I was a student at Phillips Exeter Academy. And one of my favorite teachers, Professor George Mengen, he introduced Kerouac to me, specifically on the road. And when Ebs contacted me about composing for the film, it felt like an opportunity to have a full circle moment, something that I could lean into that was worth remembering and also worth contributing to. And as a parent, it felt important enough to take me away from my children for as long as it did, because I know that one day they'll be able to look to the work and they'll know why I was away. And so, yeah, it was worth it. The specific location that epitomizes Kerouac for me would be me being here and now. The ability to show up, the ability to make this trip and to not take it for granted, to be the consummate traveler and pedestrian. I was just speaking to my friend Vanessa about how important it is for me to walk around in the city when I return to the city. And yeah, putting foot to pavement is my version of on the road. Any day and every day. I don't know if I've ever, so as a composer, as a producer, as a singer-songwriter, this lift was particularly special for me because it wasn't just composing and it wasn't just the soundtrack. I've been contributing to soundtracks for decades. This was a real exercise in trust, particularly from Ebs, to allow me to not just compose, but to do the entire soundtrack. So it gave me the opportunity to connect scene and setting from, say, 12 seconds into the film to the last minute and a half of the film, the denouement, because we had the ability to support the film holistically, but to also disappear. And that was my aim, to be as invisible as we needed to be, but to also utilize the voices within our community. And that included male voices, it included female voices, it included very organic and percussive instrumentation. It was never lost on me. This was the beat of a nation. And so I wanted to lean into the percussive elements that weren't necessarily always obvious. So there are different types of beats. And I think that the beat transcends the drum. And so I wanted to lean into that with the vocals. I wanted to lean into that with atmospheric instrumentation to turn, the flute into something that was percussive, and so forth and so on. Not much. I didn't personally dive into Kerouac's favorites, but I did pay attention to what he listened to and who he admired. And then I just imagined myself as being a fly on the wall and being there amongst them and contributing to it, but also making it relevant and modern, as opposed to, spending time looking back and trying to replicate something that wasn't as contemporary as the story that we're telling is, if that makes sense. So that's a fantastic question. Music, like energy, like life, is neither lost nor found, but merely transformed, right? When I walk through the airport and I have a guitar case and people ask me, what type of music do you play? I say there's only two types of music. There's a good kind and a bad kind. So I don't get lost in the so-called genres of it. I do my best to pay attention to what makes me feel when I need to feel that thing. And so it shapes and it transforms and it shifts. But I'm a firm believer in the fact that, chord progressions and beats precede us and will outlive us. And, we're just lucky enough to be able to pick up on it like the scent of a flower when you're walking by it. you know, but it's really not ours. But it is our gift. So I think that, again, as a composer, as a producer, as a singer-songwriter, with my particular lived experience, meaning that, you know, there's other people who could speak to you and could be producers, composers, singer-songwriters, but my lived experience has been dynamic, it has been robust, it has been rife with its fair share of challenges. But that which does not kill you makes you stronger. So I feel uniquely equipped to do this job because it's not always easy to sit with trauma, suffering, pain, especially over spans of decades, and to then try to wrap it up in a scene, you know? So the opportunity to connect those dots from beginning to end, again, holistically, it's a really humbling exercise, right? Like, it's not about me showing up and me being the ego and me being in the room, be like, hey, it's John Forte. I'm the last person that you should think of. You should really be paying attention to the lights. You should really be paying attention to the dialogue. You should really be paying attention to the silence, right? Like, it doesn't need to be wall to wall of music just because I'm doing the music, right? Like, the silence is as important, if not more important sometimes. So it's an exercise in humility, and I get the opportunity to learn every day that I show up to work. And that, to me, is what makes it worth doing.